Hi Aquarius, welcome. It's Meredith. I am here with a monthly message for November 2020. I know it's been a couple of months since we've done a monthly reading. I have an inspired new layout for you this time around. I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to watch your sun, moon, and rising videos as well. It gives you quite a snapshot of the energy atmosphere for the month of November. And take the whole month to watch all that. All right, we are using the Queen of the Moon Oracle to highlight the overall theme of energy in the month of November for you. So I shuffled out 3 cards from this deck, and then we're using Tarot of the Cat People for the tarot portion to take the message deeper. So let's get into it. Your first card is Creation. This would have you, Aquarius, contemplating, perhaps in meditation, over what you are in creation for at this time, or what you are actively manifesting with the Divine All. Now, this can be goals, dreams, desires, intentions, having your own inspired idea of what's now and what's next. So let's take a look at what the tarot cards have to say about that for you. First, you have, very nice, the High Priestess. This is you listening to your intuition, and you know, I really just feel you're following your intuitive nose at this point, and this is creating inspiration for you. So the atmosphere is charged in November for you to take action on what you're holding in heart space in terms of desire, where you want to go, what you want to do, how you know, what's your view of happy right now, and how do you make that happen? Coming with the High Priestess is, look at this, the Emperor. Fantastic cards. 2 really strong major arcana cards too. The Emperor is, you know, he's got the nickname of being the know-it-all, and that's a little unfortunate because this is the guy that has all the experience, all the wisdom, and he's the one who shares it generously. So you may find yourself with the High Priestess and the Emperor in the role of intuitive counselor for the people in your world. You know, those who are nearest and dearest to you, your closest friends, family, they listen to what you have to say. They know you are a wise old soul. And you have a lot of experience in your own right. And there's a feeling here, there's a touch on these with these cards that you have easy access to your collective wisdom as a soul. So if you are a believer in other life experience, most people call it past life experience. My guides and I refer to it as parallel life experience. You have the ability to channel your collective soulful wisdom from all of your lifetimes, no matter how you view them. You really are a person who can go into meditation and come out with an answer, not knowing how you know. And that's the beauty of the High Priestess. You know, she is the inner oracle. She is the inner voice of your wisdom, your intuitive, soulful, guided wisdom. And with the Emperor sitting right there, that's you being able to take direct, effective action on what it is you are channeling about. So whether you've got a really sage piece of advice to offer somebody else, or you have hatched an inspired idea, you suddenly know how to put it all together. You talk to the right people and you make it happen. Strong creation energy for you in the month. You know, just use it. And if there's something, tap into it. If there's something that you've been in contemplation for quite a while, like how do I make this happen? You know, what energies are required? What kind of time investment do I need to make it happen? Allow your inner oracle to guide you. Next, we have the Moon. Well, there's a double dose of intuition right there, Aquarius. You know, most say when they turn over the Moon that we're dealing with shadowy topics, shadowy situations and circumstances. Now, the moon is borrowed light of the sun, and it casts a whole different kind of glow and clarity into our world. Sometimes the sun is so bright it obscures our vision, doesn't it? But in the darkness, in the moon glow, we have a different perspective, and our senses are heightened, and your intuitive senses are heightened. Moon rules intuition for sure. So with the High Priestess, the inner oracle, and the moon present in the reading and in this first row and in creation, you're absolutely taking action on your intuitions. Beautiful. What comes next is Page of Pentacles, one of my favorite pages. The Page of Pentacles, first and foremost, pages are considered inexperienced. So this is what I'm connecting to with you, and it is the fact that you can go into meditation with zero experience for an idea or an inspiration, and you can come out of meditation with the answer. Pages are like scouts. They're out there on the front line of our horizon, and they're bringing back valuable insights and information to us, and that's it. There's a season for everything when you see the Page of Pentacles, and this is a season of creative intuition for you. So follow your inspirations through and take action on them. Coming with our Page of Pentacles is Five of Wands. How perfect is that? All right, Five of Wands, the whole suit of wands is creative fire and passion. So certainly you have plenty of that here in your creation row. And the Five of Wands, though, is a bit of a mock battle. And what that means is there's argument for the sake of argument. And the feeling here, Aquarius, is that this is you talking yourself out of your own creative fire and passion and some of the answers that you get from contemplation, meditation. You know, you do seem to have this beautiful direct channel to information, and suddenly you know things, and then you put them to work for yourself. Now, has that backfired for you a time or two? Yes. Fives in tarot are unstable. So if we aren't met with any kind of instability, we don't have an appreciation for the perspective that contrast provides. So the instability would be the contrast, where you come out with this great intuitive idea, and the contrast would be your mental process talking yourself into self-doubt, doubting all of it. So this is what has to be overcome in this process, because not every single idea has come to fruition for you. Some of those things kind of failed miserably, and that's okay, because you have the experience of knowing, hey, that doesn't work, that doesn't go together. But you can draw on that ultimately for this phase of energy that you are in now. That has given you experience, it has given you perspective. The contrast was valuable. Let's take a look at your next row of cards. You are working with the energy of will or willpower this month. And let's see what the tarot has to say about it. This is very much connected to the Emperor card. He's full of will and willpower. He doesn't hesitate, and he has so much experience that he simultaneously draws on contrast and perspective in any given moment for anything that he is directly working with, and it just works out for him. He has total trust in that. You may be working through this process, gaining the kind of foundation of trust that the Emperor has. Yeah, look at this. Your next card is the Five of Pentacles, another unstable number in tarot. I love this card, though. Another unstable card in tarot. I love this card because it speaks to the journey. And sometimes our journey is really pleasant, overflowing with love, bliss, and joy, right? And then there are times where we feel a bit drawn, worn out. We've had enough of something, and we don't really want to invest any more energy into it, so we start looking for an efficient and or easy way through, let's say. So the Five of Pentacles is a card that is representative of sanctuary in the storm. And the storm is you feeling a bit beleaguered, tired, weary of some aspect of your journey, and it just looks so inviting to step into the sanctuary and rest for a bit. And this is a card where you decide to pass on that offer because there's there's a cost, there's a price to going into that sanctuary, and you've done it before. You know that you pay at the door, but you give up something that you were not willing to give up. You relinquish something on this Five of Pentacles. So I really like that the Will card here shows up next to this, because when you feel that Five of Pentacles energy, you find the will within yourself to stay true to what's in your heart. And you don't look for the most efficient way through or the easy way through. You keep going. You persevere. Coming with is the Nine of Swords. Yeah, and not without a fair amount of anxiety as well. The Nine of Swords is a card of being awake at 3 a.m. and worrying, fussing over the details. Oh my gosh, I said this, I did that, I can't believe I said or did that. I wonder how that other person feels. What are they thinking about me now? Or I didn't give enough here, or I didn't give enough there, and now you know the scenario. You know that old hamster wheel tape loop. It's gone around and around 400 times in the middle of the night. So again, you find the will to put a stop to that, because you have the understanding that you are always doing the very best you can in any given moment. And sometimes the very best we have to offer doesn't feel like it's quite enough. And that is the point at which we need to roll back our energy into the High Priestess, into the Moon and the Emperor, and trust ourselves. And maybe come to some sort of pause or some sort of stillness and allow divinity, divine order to take over for a bit. Allow the dust to settle, and then we can move along again. But this is the 5 here and the 9 here are really strong self-sabotage cards, potentially. They have the potential to introduce self-sabotage, and they can be our undoing if we allow that train to run down the track without stopping it. The Will card says you do. You will recognize the signs. You will gather yourself, and you will know this is no place for me to tread. Physically, energetically, spiritually. I've been here before. I recognize the signs, and I know, I truly know that everything is going to work out for the highest and greatest good, because that's what I hold in my heart space at all times. So I can stand here, I can pause, I can gather my intuition about me, and I will allow things to unfold naturally in their way for a bit. Yes. Page of Pentacles is a good card for reinforcing that message. Next we have, well, looky here, the Devil. There is the card, if ever, of self-sabotage. This is the voice that is driving the anxiety on the Nine of Swords that has us considering the offer of the Five of Pentacles. And the Will card at the top of the reading is confirmation that when faced with your own inner demon of self-doubt and self-sabotage, while it may be tempting, and that's what the Devil card does, it tempts us into energies that don't necessarily serve us. The feeling here is you recognize this. Even though it feels really uncomfortable, you have the willpower to see yourself through this. Next. Yes, because look, 10 of Cups. This card has been showing up like crazy in the daily readings. This reading's being recorded on October 23rd, and for the past couple of weeks in the daily messages on the YouTube channel, the 10 of Cups and the Sun have been showing up almost daily, and their message is having the clarity to see what it takes, what kind of energetic investment it takes to maintain the overflowing happiness of the Sun and the Ten of Cups. So when you consider what your goal and what your intention is, that's your Ten of Cups. That's the ace to the power of 10. And almost everybody loves the Ace of Cups. I haven't heard a person yet say, oh, I hate that card. Oh, I don't like getting that card. Ever. The Ace of Cups is pure, raw, loving, bliss, joy, happiness, connection, right? So there's that to the power of 10 in the reading. That's why your will is so strong. That's why your will is stronger than the Devil, the Five of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Because this is what you're holding in heart space. And no offer of temporary sanctuary is dazzling enough for you to surrender this. That's powerful. Oh, and then we have the King of Swords. He is the master of decision making. He and the Queen both. And one of the messages I love of the King and the Queen of Swords is that neither one of them suffers foolishness, most especially their own. And that's it right there. There is a temptation to go into the foolishness of believing the ego story of the 5 and the 9 here in this row, but you have the willpower to decide to maintain your connection at all costs to your Ten of Cups. So there's the beauty of the King of Swords, who is holding, mind you, the Ace of Swords. Brilliant clarity, everlasting strength is the message of the Ace of Swords, and that's a divine and cosmic gift. And this is you, represented by the King, holding that sword and using it. And you notice it's pointed right at the Devil. So you will run the sword through the foolishness of your self-doubt and your self-sabotage. And I'm not diminishing anyone by saying it's foolish, but you know when your ego runs off at the mouth. You know what that's like. You've heard it a bazillion times. And this time you wisely pick up the sword and skewer it. Lovely. And then you have, look at this, Queen of Wands. Beautiful. And, you know, she's just the kind of sass and fire you need to see your way through this 5 of Pentacles and 9 of Swords. She is feisty to a fault. She's feisty, and she's authentic and raw and real. She's got all the grace and tact that you would expect of a queen, though she speaks her truth with eloquence. And she's super direct about it. And everybody loves her for it. I mean, this queen in particular, she's all fire. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. She's definitely loaded. So be prepared when the Queen of Wands shows up. You may surprise yourself with your own mastery for how you overcome and see your way through a 9 of Swords, Devil, 5 of Coins, life experience. Your will is that of the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands. You have intellect and you have passion to weigh against whatever it is the 9 and the 5 are dishing up for you that are creating doubt, sabotage, and temptation away from your dream. Next, your next row is all about the fears you're facing, and I think it's a beautiful card, especially now knowing that we have this 9 of Swords and the Devil in the reading, and you are in some sort of a little bit of defensiveness and protection on your 10 of Cups. And those energies in and of themselves can become an obstacle too. So let's take a look at fear and, you know, what's going on in your vulture thoughts. What's picking away at you in the ego here? First card, the High Priest. This is nice. You have the High Priestess and the High Priest. This would be the Hierophant in Tarot. And, you know, when you see his card, first there's the consideration of commitment. So do you have a commitment to your dreams, 10 of Cups? Yes, absolutely you do. Are you committed enough to that dream to stay out of the Devil, the 9 of Swords, and the 5? There's the question, right? So the High Priestess, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, also has us taking a look at how we are programmed to think, behave, and believe. And, you know, if we tell ourselves the story Oh, I did this before and it failed. It will probably fail again. Do you see how that's a self-fulfilling prophecy? That's the temptation of the devil card, and that's what causes anxiety on the 9. So when you see the Hierophant here in the reading, you know that it's going to take your will to overcome the fear of that vulture thought or that vulture thought way of thinking. The feeling is that you absolutely do overcome that. Next, we have 7 of Wands. I did just say you were potentially in a little bit of a defensive posture over your 10 of Cups, and there's the confirmation in the 7 of Wands. This is a card where we feel we are defending energy that is coming at us. And the feeling that I have when I look at the 7 of Wands is bring it, let it come. Because behind the 7 of Wands is the 6 of Wands. And the message of the 6 of Wands is harmony, balance, and victory, success, homecoming to the self. This is energy that you have to draw upon when faced with what you're seeing here in the center of your reading. Not only that, you have loads of intuition to listen to. So you will weather whatever storm comes your way in that 7 of Wands. It's really, really beautiful. Next. Ace of Pentacles. Yes. So here we are. Opportunity and a message of great love. The Ace of Pentacles really does carry that message, that there is a gift and a grace of great love on offer to you. In the first place where you will find it is within your own heart, and that is going to overcome fear every single time. So the Ace of Pentacles is a divine and cosmic gift from the universe saying, reminding you that you are your own greatest love. Opportunity is all around you, and you will take every opportunity in its own divine order. Yeah. So this is where you begin to relax when the fear shows up and the 9 of Swords are poking at you, and you dig deep for your will and you're not even sure that's enough. Then there's the Ace of Pentacles, and that's more than enough, because this is part of what's fueling your 10 of Cups. And then last, how sweet for you, you have the Empress. So not only do you have the Emperor, but you have his counterpart, the Empress. So your divine masculine, your divine feminine is in great order this month. And the feeling here with these two in the reading is that you will balance it all out. So you're going to rise like a Queen of Wands, a King of Swords. You're going to rise like an Emperor and the Empress. And these two, they are the mother and father of tarot. They've got all the experience one could ever require. So the reading ends on the note it begins with, that all the knowledge lies within you. All you need to do is tap it, listen to it, follow it. You will be faced with challenge. You will be tempted to doubt yourself, sabotage the idea altogether. You will encounter some sort of fear that rises up. Though you greet it, you actually welcome it, and you rise like the Emperor, the Empress. And you embrace it and you learn from it, and it becomes more of that amazing wisdom and knowledge that is just so natural to you. There it is, Aquarius. Thank you so much for watching. I remind you to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising videos. Definitely leave a comment if it's in your heart to do so. And check out the daily messages. Have a beautiful November. Peace, love, blessings, happiness. Namaste.